Hi, this is Dissb. This is footage of my Prestige 8 Warlock Mage in the Warfront, the battle for Port Scion. Of all the Warfronts, I really feel I have a huge advantage on my opponents in this Warfront particularly. Because my mage is so mobile, he's able to cast all his spells while on the move, and it's really easy to break line of sight when you're facing an opponent that has casting times on their spells. It's also great because there's different levels. You can see the walls here. You can jump in and out and break line of sight that way as well. And most importantly, it's very devastating as a AoE mage. This Warfront actually took 30 minutes, so I'm gonna cut straight to the action scene so I can give you some insight and let you know exactly what's going on in my mind during some of the more intensive battles. So here I'm dealing with two enemies, a rogue and a mage. First thing I want to do is start kiting this rogue while casting on him and also breaking line of sight from the mage. Gain a little health and I'm going to start dotting up this Stormcaller, but I'm always putting myself in a position where I can easily break line of sight. Once I know I can finish him off, I'm just going to run up to him, kill him, let my Bloodthirsty proc. Actually found another guy that's low on health and was able to get 2 Bloodthirsty procs, restoring my life to full. I'm not really sure how I get aggro on this elite, but somehow I do, and I've got problems now. I've got 2 warriors here, plus an elite. I'm not even thinking about killing anything. It's all about survival right now. Pop my health potions, pop my Nedras, pop my Shadow Life, kite back to my teammates, and hopefully they can help burn them down. I know I've said it before in other videos, and I'm going to say it again. If you're going to venture off solo in a Warfront like I do a lot, you always got to know where your teammates are. It's important because when things go sour like it did in that instance, you need to be able to go back to your teammates and get the help you need to be able to kill them. Here's a very interesting situation. Looks like we have Defiant in virtually almost 180-degree view of me. The first thing I want to do is start looking behind me to see where I can escape once I want to start engaging. You'll notice I'm always staying by this wall because if my health really starts going down, I could easily jump over the wall and break line of sight. Currently I'm sitting by this building because I know we control the bridge, so I don't have to worry about anyone behind me, and I also have the corner of the building that I can always break line of sight. Here's something I think we're all accustomed to. One huge battle at the bridge for the flag. If you're an AoE specialist, you can sure put up some high numbers here. But I'm gonna actually try to help take this flag by positioning myself behind them and try to make a real difference. Hopefully I can draw some people to face me. If not, hey fine, look. They're all facing the other way and I just get to lay all this AoE damage. The thing I really wanted to point out is, you know, as much of an AoE fest it is for us, it holds true for them as well, and I really want to just get away from that. We eventually end up taking the bridge on our second push. As I enter into battle here, I normally lead off with Necrosis, but since there's 3 enemies here, I'm going to lead off with Dark Touch and Nedras, and I'm going to try to lay Radiate Death on all 3. Unfortunately, I missed the 3rd guy, but I was able to land Radiate Death on 2. So when I was on that warrior, I only had to apply 2 more dots until I started my finishing rotation, but he actually died prior to that. So I've got this Stormcaller Chloro targeted. I also have 5 dots on him, including a life leech, so I should be able to finish this guy with my finishing rotation easily. I'm actually not able to finish him, and I'm going to pull off him. And the beauty is, right now what I'm doing in my mind is I'm analyzing what's going on while I'm still casting it. at that target. It's really easy. It's probably the biggest advantage the Warlock has is when you're applying all your dots, you do not have to be facing the target. So I'm actually, you know, just running around, checking my back. You can see I was able to kill 2 guys that were behind me that were low on health. But that's really what's going on, is get comfortable casting your dots, you know, while being able to do other things. The ability to multitask and grasp all the other information that's going on while continuing putting pressure is really gonna allow yourself to put up really high numbers in DPS and kills. Several people have asked if I use macros, and my answer is no. I want to be able to make my own decisions when casting spells. So many combination of spells are so dependent on situations that if I needed to make macros, I would need to have 1,000 different macros. Looking at the bridge here, it looks like it's undefended, but remember, this is where they're going to spawn, so I'm going to hold off on my Radiate Death just in case, and lo and behold, they pop up. Drop a nice Radiate Death that affects everyone that had spawned there. And the reason this is important is if you can get a killing blow and your bloodthirsty procs, you're going to have a lot of enemies there that are going to have partial health, or at least reduced health. So here I have a bloodthirsty proccing, which is going to enable me to stay here much, much longer. Drop another good Radiate Death there, affected 8 enemies or so, and it's probably a little too much for me to handle, so I'm going to back up. Even though I'm fleeing, I'm still putting maximum damage on them because I'm mobile. I'm able to put all my dots on characters, but you know, eventually I gotta play defensive like right here and really start popping some of my lifesavers potions. It's funny how people just get really focused on killing me. Ever since my days of Warhammer, I've been accustomed to being a primary target for the enemy. This has really helped me develop my skills in warfronts or scenarios. The enemy knows they can't just have me casting freely in the back, because I'll just kill everything left and right. But at the same time, they know it's going to take a lot more than 2 or 3 guys focusing me. So it really puts the enemy in this predicament. The other day, someone messaged me on YouTube and asked, "You only put up videos where you don't die?" The answer is no. Usually just put up the first Warfront daily. I just really don't die that often. I don't know, maybe once every few games. This game is just like any other PvP game out there. You just gotta outsmart and outthink your opponent. First thing you gotta do is be very defensive. You need to be able to survive. And I've been doing it since day one, and everyone else and their mother was stacking crit or spell power. You would think after a while you would be looking at someone successful, you know, in Warfronts and look to see what they're equipping. I mean, I was for the longest time wearing 55 endurance thing that would proc against melee. I mean, that's 500 extra hit points. I mean, I was the only one wearing it for the longest time. And now I'm glad to see a lot of people are finally realizing that survivability is everything. It allows you to be able to live and keep on fighting. Remember, we always want to stay away from the masses because that's what the enemy really focuses on. You take a look here, every time I look at the bridge, everyone is facing at the masses. You know, just play around with your class, try to attack from different angles, you know, see what works, see what isn't working. You know, if I'm staying back here and I'm constantly getting hit by a Stormcaller, then get away from it. Stay up here on the top of the bridge here. Work on the healers in the back. I mean, there's no way you're going to get AoE right where I'm standing. So this is actually your most beneficial spot if you don't want to get AoE and really want to be able to still put out some good damage. It's a really close battle here, but I think we finally taken this bridge, and it's probably going to make the difference in the war front. Looks like we still have a lot of Divine here to deal with, but I'm sure we're not going to have a problem now that we have the bridge. Just going to drop some AoE, try to get a Bloodthirsty proc in. Today I just actually read the new changes on Bloodthirsty, and I'm somewhat saddened because my character really revolves around being able to deliver the killing blow and get Bloodthirsty to proc. Really enables me to do a lot of things that I couldn't do. So I'm really interested to see if I'm able to pull off some of the stuff I was able to do, if I'm still able to do it. This Warfront was actually really fun. It didn't end up being a race to who can kill the boss first. There's a lot of battling in the mid-grounds, especially on the bridge. And I hope I was able to show you, many uses of being able to break line of sight and using all the different buildings and obstacles in this map to your advantage. Once again, this is Dissb. Remember, feedback is everything to me. I'll keep making these videos as long as I keep getting positive feedback from you. Simply hitting the like button on this YouTube video means a lot to me. Thanks again.